Hello friends, I'm the Otter, and here I have the first ever custom tuned shock I've ever bought. It's the DVO WP coil shock, and they're clearing them out on their website. I just had to have one. They're limited edition, unique, and definitely discontinued. If you're not aware of the DVO WP suspension, it came on certain gas e-bikes. Recently taking that fork to the bike park. It is hands down the best single crown 38 fork on the market if you get it set up right. So I had to buy this one to match it all up. And if you're wondering why I've never had a custom tuned shock ever, it's because I lose money on these videos and it costs a lot of money to buy all this stuff and it takes me off my other businesses, but let's get into this puppy. So the DVO WP, or this coil shock, is basically custom tuned for the test track. So we're gonna see how it does. So I just counted all the compression clicks. It's a little different than DVO. It only has like 5 clicks of high speed compression, this big wingy thing, and then like 15 clicks of low speed, 20 clicks of rebound. So it's all DVO except for like this section right here is WP and the rest of it's DVO, but we gotta put it on a $10,000 dyno. 60 pounds of pressure, woo! With 60 pounds of damper activation force, it's not gonna be a super plush shock. But remember, DVO makes pretty high performance, affordable suspension. It's super easy to throw thousands of dollars at something and make it amazing. It's really hard to balance value and performance, and that's what DVO specializes in. So the custom tune, I talked to the tuner, gave him all the information on my bike, told him exactly what I wanted: less low speed, more high speed compression, needing a ton of ramp up, maximum amount of ramp up, because I like to huck everything to flat. The shock is missing hydraulic bottom out. Hydraulic bottom out's pretty amazing band-aid for bad tunes, but we're gonna find out if custom tunes are really worth it. So DVO right here offers custom tunes on their stuff, but it's very hard to identify what you want exactly. But if you follow my direction, less low speed, more high speed, I promise you it'll be better than stock valving. So being a suspension connoisseur, I do have a lot of springs. We got a progressive DVO spring in case there's no damping built into this with the cone valve. We'll have to figure that out. And then we have the super stubby EXT spring, most high performance, less windings. But once again, DVO is balancing performance and price all in one. So I bought the 500-pound spring for this shock, but I really should put the spring decks on it because no one is above a spring decks. Looks a little bit dangerous with the collar. So this has to come off. Fortunately, I put the rebound knob in the upward setting. So we're going a lot slower, locked off compression. So if you're not aware, there's a little cone in there and it makes a crazy good damping, but it doesn't make a lot of damping, meaning it's probably why the rebound is, you just gotta go ride this thing.
Rich on the house. Rich, you ran up there.
So a 1,000 foot climb. Fortunately, the Score is a very good pedaler. The DVO shock is not the best pedaler, but obviously I did custom tune it for myself. So I am about to pass out from climbing 1,000 feet because I'm an e-biker. So we're gonna see how the bike does in the downhill. Everything's set up for the downhill. Now the first 1,000 foot or so of descending on this new coil shock, it was a little bit strange. It wasn't just jump on it and get along with it right away. Definitely has a unique feel when you do compare it to the standard issue DVO coil shock.
Dude, just breathe.
Basically, it ramps up pretty sweet. Never on the bump stop violently. The only problem is I don't have enough oxygen in my lungs on the Amish bike, but that's the whole point. So we're gonna try it again because I kind of lost a pedal. But so far, pretty impressive DVO rear coil. The defining feature and why I love DVO suspension is going to be demonstrated right here. These shocks have incredible pop. So the tech trail descent on my custom valve DVO shock, basically I have to remember that in the tuning sheet I asked for basically maximum high speed compression, so it doesn't have the best traction. Everything's a trade-off in suspension, so I want this shock to excel in the blue flow trails because I want to get better at jumping. So it's a little compromised in the tech trails. I had the architecture built around this shock for blue flow trails. So yep, it jumps really good. But combo that up with the super stiff carbon frame of the Score 4060, this bike just absolutely generates speed. So understand you can only move the clickers so much and they only do so much. So them going in and adding extra compression shims in there has turned this shock into an absolute beast in the blue flow trails. Jumping performance, 5 stars. But to be honest, I am 100% struggling on this Amish bike from that long climb up. Was completely dialed through there, but this is the main test track. What this shock was tuned for was this exact section of trail. So let's see how DVO did. Oh! The tuning team at DVO absolutely knocked this one out of the park. The real test is to hit some steeper lips because basically this is what I want to get better at, and let's see how it goes. Pure control first run through with minimal setup into the DVO shock. So understand custom tunes are substantially more powerful than turning clickers. So was it worth getting my shock custom tuned? Well, I probably should have rode the stock valving first to tell you how that was, but I did want to build basically the dream bike specifically built for jumping, and the DVO shock itself is excellent. So the previous DVO coil shock that I had, the Jade X Prime, stock valving was a little bit light on it. DVO, all the shock brands need to build the shocks for everybody, not just some weirdo who weighs 200 pounds likes to hook everything to flat. So 100% was worth it. So that is an excellent shock. If you are on the heavier side, you are going to need some stiffer valving or compression shims added inside of the shock to stop it from bottoming out. I've seen a few people with it. The cone valve does add a bit of complexity. DVO wasn't super stoked on retuning that because there's a limitation because the cone valve. So basically there's 2 sets of shims, one in the piggyback, one on the main piston. In the cone valve, you can't add any shims to the cone valve because it's all tuned from WP and it's kind of a discontinued product. For me, I love it. It's unique, limited edition. You're not going to see too many of them on the trail, like that kind of stuff. That's what I have time for, is the test track. So basically, I want that shock tuned for that. Like, I have a lot of businesses and stuff going on, so a lot of time that's all I have time for, and having a devoted bike for that, 100%. Tech trails, basically you just want it super soft. It's not super complicated. Fast rebound, more traction. More compression, more control. Jumps, more control. 100%, totally worth it. Limited edition on the DVO website, but they always do the custom tuning on all the stuff they've ever made. To get more details on the DVO coil shocks, you gotta click this video here. We go into all the details on why this shock